days since I went live last, so I wanted to, chat it up with you all a little bit while I'm going somewhere real quick, and see what's up with you all. I got a couple of topics for you all that's listening in the future. Shout out to the replay gang. I got a couple of topics we're gonna talk about today. One is we're gonna talk about Slim Thug, Megan Thee Stallion, Klay Thompson, and basically Slim Thug hating, because that's essentially what he's doing. That is what he's doing, and that needs to be called out. And that's unfortunate, because Slim Thug is actually doing a lot of really great things, locally, in real estate and a lot of stuff. I paid kind of, around the way attention to some of the stuff he's doing. He definitely is living the kind of by the block, investing in community thing with his, the time he was at the top, like really known. And, doing a really good job with, what he does with his music and other stuff like that, even though his stuff is regulate more to more regional. And folks need to understand, all hip-hop is not this national garbage, corporate garbage that for the most part we've been getting. And he's a good example of that. So there's a lot of good things to say about him. So, I hate to have to do this, but I got to, that needs to be called out. And maybe a video needs to be done kind of chronicling different stuff that Slim Thug has done locally in his own community. But it's a bigger point than just saying he's hating. That's one thing I want to talk about. The other thing I want to talk about is the second data breach with this time. So because I know it's a lot of stuff going on with that T app, and nobody's really. It's a lot of stuff going on with the T app. Nobody is really. So it's hard to kind of keep up with what's real, what's not, like the quote unquote T-born app, mail apps. Like, I don't even pay attention to anybody talk about a mail app, because the reality is, yeah, that a lot of that information is not solid. But yeah, this is a second data breach, which means it was the first data breach. This time it was domestic, so we're going to talk about that. And then the final thing I want to talk about is Professor Black Truth did a video on basically tethers, this time South Asian, Indian, doing the scam. And I'm going to really go after the thing about this model minority situation. And then I got some commentary on SWP talking about Jamaicans in particular, but really like Caribbeans and bootlicking and all that stuff. So we're going to talk about all that today. We're going to break that down. I'll get into whatever I get into. I really need to get back in just revamping the channel. I want to let y'all know, for people that's holding down the Patreon, I ain't shit. So let me just say that right now. I don't post a lot of content on my Patreon, and so that's why I promote the Discord versus promote the Patreon. That will change. Number one. Number two is I am going to get into doing more video uploads as well. Get back into that habit. And revamping the channel, adding a lot more AI into the channel to mainly, add more visuals to the things that I say to make this fun. So that's something I'm definitely gonna really, get down to doing. Also, I got an interview potentially with somebody, and so I'll be up there. I'll let you know. I mean, it's a place I've been before, so we'll let you know when that goes down, and all of that. So let's jump on the first thing. First thing, anyway, we're not gonna go in order. The first thing I want to jump on, let's jump on what SWP had to say, and Professor Black Truth. So Professor Black Truth is going over, Professor Black Truth just recently launched a video where he was going over an Indian guy, South Asian guy that basically was running a scam with visas. Apparently there's a certain type of visa you can quickly get if you're a part of a witness to a crime, and hundreds of people have gotten this visa in Louisiana. You want more information, go check out Professor Black Truth's video. It's about 12-13 minutes. It's worth watching. And he was talking about how the idea of the model, this model minority thing, how a lot of these immigrants are scammers. There's a lot more scammers than you would otherwise think. And this immigration is used as a political, one thing the immigrants need to understand is a big reason why you see a lot of the pushback that you see is because immigration is used as a it's used as a weapon. It's used
Police reported ahead.
It's used as an economic weapon. It's used as a political weapon. It's used as a cultural and social weapon. It's used to justify a lot of stuff that white people do. And one of the things I want to communicate to people is I understand the position some people are in and the fear that some people are in as far as, well, if we do something, what's gonna happen, what Trump did is just what's gonna happen. Or, I mean, Haitians have been getting kicked out of here with Democrats too. But I understand that position. However, understand that there is a certain amount of awareness that if you decide to say, I'm gonna do the bullshit on the low, understand people are just gonna have to respond. Well, every action is equal an opposite reaction, and that reaction may not be immediate, but that action definitely is gonna come, especially when there's a certain amount of awareness to what's going on. Once that hits a certain critical mass, people are gonna result. People are gonna act the way they're gonna act. And one thing, even though I've talked about to me the tether thing gets overused, not because it's not a lot of tethers, but because calling somebody a name is not enough. See, I've had people come in my comment section talking about, I appreciate the fact that you're checking FBAs on, using the term tether. And although I appreciate that, what's up, y'all? Finally got my hair cut. But although I appreciate that, I want you to understand, I'm not the one to thank, because I'm a lot worse than these niggas calling y'all names. The reality of this situation is, I believe in economic warfare. I don't believe in just calling. In fact, I don't even believe in calling somebody a name. I believe you call people a name after you've already done the damage, because when you call people a name, you actually raise the awareness of people. Then now they're aware how much you are aware, and they're aware at a wide scale, and they're gonna create counter moves just in case, or they're gonna lock their doors or whatever just in case something happens, so they don't get caught up. So, and the people that's doing the most dirt are usually the people that are gonna be the most protected. The people you actually need to go and get are the people that's going to be most protected. This is why it's not always, now Trump has to do what he has to, Trump is doing what he's doing because a part of it is a spectacle, so it looks like he did some stuff when he really ain't doing a lot. And Professor Black Truth has done a good job really chronicling that. BGS has done a good job chronicling that. All they got to do is cut off the if they go after people that are hiring, and you instantly fix that in the industries that you want that gone. Pick the industry, let them know game time's up. If you're caught, you're done. You being white isn't going to help you, and that you solve the problem. A lot of people will self-deport, but a lot of it is about a spectacle. And the thing about calling people tethers is, although it has a purpose of making your own group more aware of what's going on and explain it to them, at the same time, you also, it's like calling somebody a name doesn't mean shit in the grand scheme of things. It is the economics. Black people have a $1 trillion spending power. That money belongs to African Americans. That is my mindset. And everything, in retail, they call it shrink. In other situations, I call it leakage. There's certain things you're just going to have to deal with because, we're in a white system, and obviously we do business with white people. So of course, white people are going to take a hell of a chunk. But when it comes to immigrants, that's a good practice test for only fucking with people that fuck with us. That's my thing. I don't have a personal issue with immigrants, but at the same time, if you're in a counter position to what we're trying to do, that's a problem. And I don't understand why anybody thinks that people don't have a right to deal with that. We have the moral high ground on the situation.
Right lane blocked ahead.
But my point is, I believe in economic warfare. I believe in the type of thing of you create a black version, a whole bunch of NBA players or NFL NBA players. You know, they got the money. Should get together, combine with a white company, raise some capital, create another version of Panda Express, Tingle Japan, Hibachi Restaurant, whatever, rappers, whatever. And then basically go after, there should be no black man buying fried chicken out of a fucking Chinese restaurant. Number one, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? And number two, the fuck? There should be no black person buying fried fucking chicken out of a Chinese restaurant. We might as well create a business, do that shit ourselves, get people like Keith Lee and stuff to be sponsors and stuff and spread that shit. Make sure the food is good. I told you before, my mom actually used to make egg rolls, and I've kept that. I actually need to practice making them, because truth be told, that's $1 million thing right there. All I gotta do is get the sauces right. I could literally probably start a food truck and make $1,000 a day if I really wanted to. I know I could. And so if I were to sell that recipe to like a company like that, I know I could. And so my point is, you just never know. And the egg rolls are not like how Asians make them. They're how a black person would make them. Like, I'm dead ass serious. And that's something my mom learned how to do on her own. That's something unique to her. Nah, yeah, I'm not gonna give you. My mom uses the chicken squares, the micro shrimp. I'm not gonna give you the vegetables, but the chicken squares, micro shrimp, as far as the meat, and then the vegetables that she uses as a filling, and then you go to the grocery store and get the egg roll thing, boom. Which, you know that most egg rolls Asians make are not particularly don't really have meat in them like that, or it's like not good. So my point though is, you could create a company like that and then literally take money out of all these Asian. And I don't have any issue with Asians. That's just our money. Not only black people, but white people too. And be like, well, we don't know how to make Chinese food. Just do hibachi. Hibachi is Japanese. Just do more hibachi. Just do it on hibachi. If you do a hibachi, the rice ain't typically that great anyway. And then you just gotta, I mean, shoot. If you look at pizza places, you see Mexicans in there. You see Arabs in there. It ain't just Italians. It ain't mainly Italians like that anymore. It ain't. So it's not exclusive to nobody. And the reality is, you should just do that oriented here. Taco Bell ain't Mexican. It's based off Mexican food, but it ain't Mexican. And so that's just one example. That's just food. Not to mention, like, you talking about food truck situations that people can get involved in and get some money. This is what I'm talking about tapping into different aspects of the economy. You're funding Asians going to school, going to these schools, getting all this bullshit, whether they're from here, from somewhere else. They can plug in their own stuff. You see these Indian restaurants are starting to turn up. I'm not saying we should deal with that, but what I am saying is that's a perfect example. Anywhere that black people support, seafood is another aspect. You see where Red Lobster is. Red Lobster is not in a great state. Shout out to that brother. It's the CEO, but they only gave it to him because Red Lobster is really in a holding pattern right now. There's you see seafood restaurants or crab restaurants. In fact, you don't even necessarily need, you just need a distribution company to operate different seafood restaurants. So you get certain things at a certain price. That's the certain type of mentality we need to have. It's the same thing with black women and their hair. It's the same thing with black women and microblading, all of that bullshit. Black, with that door spending power. Other people using our spending power, and then they're using it against us and then thumbing their nose in our face. And this is about power. This is not about anger. This is not about any of that. They do what they do because it's easy to get away with it. Even white people aren't going to protect these immigrants like that, especially not the black ones. Especially not the black ones. You black people know there's a consequence to doing stupid shit, and they won't do it. Even when I say people need to check people in their own group, you got to compel people to do shit. And that's where black men are really fucking up. Black men do not believe that black men believe you can use morality. I'm not saying to do immoral shit, but what I am saying is you cannot depend on morality to move people. People do not typically move on morality unless they're compelled to do so within their own religion and stuff like that. Even not knowing how to cook. You got all black. Think of how much money. You know, it's funny. Black women will sit here and talk about, I don't need to know how to cook for no man. I don't need to know how to cook. And it's like, if you know how to cook, you can sell food. You don't even think about that. You don't even got to necessarily create a taco truck or nothing like that. You don't even necessarily got to buy a truck. You know, you could really sell shit outside your own house if you got a good enough oven and stuff like that. It's a side hustle. But nobody never thinks about that. All they think about is what they not gonna do for a man. Not understanding is, why else would you do it other than for a man? Cooking with Kaya turned her ability to make food into a YouTube channel. There's dudes that I know that's got big YouTube channels around food. Dudes will definitely watch, like Cooking with Kaya demonstrated, dudes watch women. She just got to talk about the gimmick of her moving her body. Did I not call it though? I forgot about that. I sure enough did. It didn't take that long either, and I did it. Keith Lee, all of that. And the more you know about food, the better food reviews you can do. But nobody thinks about that. The only thing they think about is, I want to cook for a man. Even cleaning. You could turn cleaning into a business or a side hustle. Real talk. Hell, even when it comes to cleaning supplies and stuff like that, it's like y'all just think y'all too good to do shit and y'all end up looking stupid. But when it comes to, you know, and then SW was doing a video on, you know, this dude that, you know, got you know, basically got messed with by white folks. Got messed with by white folks, you know, on a you know, construction site, dropping dirt. And SAP was cooking on that. I ain't even gonna lie. SAP was definitely cooking on that. Talking about how dudes need this idea of people just acting like racism doesn't exist, and how people get caught lacking by these white folks because you used to dealing with these city white folks and y'all ain't really used to dealing with these country white folks like that. That's about that action. And how the contempt with African Americans, and a lot of y'all, and this is why I'm gonna keep it real. One thing I haven't talked about is how a lot of immigrants are invested in the gender war continuing, because as long as black men and black women are not like really united like that, because if we ever got united in any real kind of way, a lot of this shit wouldn't go down. I'll be back. All right, I'm back. But like I was saying, and that's one thing nobody's talked about that, by the way. That because, and I'm not saying it's gonna be everything's gonna be kumbaya, but amongst classes, like the reality is, black men in the upper classes of black society, you don't really see it. Like the 92, so you got the 100 octane class, then you got the 92 class, the 88 class, and the 85 class. The 88 class is more the blue collar class, worker class. 85 class is more of the hood shit. And then the 92 class is more the six-figure class, right? Just to break it down in a way that makes sense. The six-figure class, black people shouldn't be having these types of problems. The 88 class, really, they shouldn't be either. A lot of this shit should be regulated to just the lower classes. But because you got this feminism, this overarching everything, that's actually what creates the problem, the real problem. And there's a lot of groups that benefit from that being the state that black people are in. And so I don't believe, because a lot of pro-blacks believe in, just ignoring it, pretending it doesn't exist. That's not going to solve it. Damn. Ain't nothing but air. Like I'm drinking air. God damn. That's not going to solve it. Because then you don't talk about what I'm talking about right now, which is the idea of how other groups benefit from us being divided like that. Because if you have anything where black men and black women are getting mad at, like take the Tyler situation. Tyler is, she's got a great career. She can sing, all that good stuff. But the reality is Tyler, you don't really hear, you see her music being played a little bit, but her stuff ain't being played like it was before. It ain't being pushed as hard because black women weren't on board with that. And they didn't even try to go with the dudes because it just wasn't going to work like that. Yeah. I'm not about to explain the classes. That's BGS's realm. But I just wanted to, yeah. So that's one thing nobody never talks about. Nobody never talks about, the fact that other groups benefit. Other groups benefit from this dysfunction. They do. And it's like you're destroying your own community because you're scared of men having agency, having power. And men have to understand the whys that the women are doing that and have to, address that. Because you're not going to morally win that argument. So all of this stuff is interconnected. And that's what a lot of people don't really want to break. They want to talk about this stuff in isolated silos. But she's got like 5 songs out. She's got Push to Start. She's got like four or 5 songs. Water, Push to Start, and like another song out here, something Lose My Mind. She can put together songs. The problem is the relationship. People don't care. People are not gonna care about your music if they don't identify with you. Take somebody like Glorilla, for example. Glorilla's music ain't good. Most of these chicks' music ain't good. Her music is just better than a lot of the other chicks and trash they've been putting out. Take Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion's music ain't garbage, but the reality is black women don't really identify with her like that. Because truth be told, that's why these women gotta deal with more antics than dudes do. Because they can't just lean on the music. Take the WNBA, for example. These women don't care. So it's got to be these extra antics. So ultimately, man, when people be y'all worrying about that Tether thing, you better be happy. I'm going to close it with this. You better be happy that Tether is the only thing people are doing and they're not actually working on economics. Because that's when y'all really need to be scared. Like, for real, for real. So that's one thing. The other thing I want to talk about is the other thing I want to talk about is the T app. Y'all brought that up. Look, man, I told y'all what was gonna happen with that bullshit. I didn't think, and number one, that white dude, it's funny because even now, they're not bringing that white dude up like that. See, it's something about these women that, you know, when it's a white man, this like the blame for shit. Notice how they're talking about the T app, but they're not talking about it's a white man that did it. Now, you know that you would be hearing all this. This is what I'm talking about. Black men don't protect black women, blah, 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 blah. You would hear that narrative if it was a black man that was in front of it. But because it's a white man, everybody acting like, you know, fucking Skynet created the app. Everybody acting like the app fucking created itself. You notice that shit? Also notice bitches are still trying to get on the app. They still trying to get on the app. Is to protect. Yeah, I didn't know this phrase before, but now I know it. It's called safety activism. Now, you know, I've talked about them using safety as a pretext for them to get resources or to get benefits. First of all, men need to be protected from women just as much as women need to be protected from men when it comes to dating. Because men need, like 33% of women have said that they've gone out on a date. I remember Obsidian said that 33% of women surveyed said that they went on a date for the main purpose of getting a free meal with a dude they had no intention on really pursuing further. Men need to be protected from that. Men need to be protected from stick-ups. Men need to be protected from being drugged. So if you got a chick out here, quite frankly, I would love you. Like, the problem is people are always going to spread lies about people. Well, yeah. But the problem is, yeah, but at the end of the day, this I see the way these women, notice how when these women always talk, they always talk as if all these women are coming into these like dating and first of all, a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago, y'all couldn't get a date. A month ago, y'all were like, where are all the good men? Why don't men approach us? All that bullshit. Now y'all acting like y'all always fucking. It is. Because women aren't going on dates with niggas they actually like. If they like them for real, they fucking and then going out after. And that usually don't count as a date. It wasn't even hacked like that. Like, personally. So, here's the problem. When you, and yeah, I'm eating, get the fuck over it. If you don't like it, leave. I always get somebody in my comments talk about, I can't believe you eating, like I do that shit every day. Every time I go live. When you download an app from Apple, that app is supposed to, you're supposed to know that because that app is in the App Store, this is something that people aren't telling you. When you download an app from Apple, you're supposed to know the App Store is supposed to rigorously vet that app for security risks. And the fact that that app was so low security, that actually low-key makes Apple look bad too. Because that undercuts the value of the App Store. Because I'm like, shit, I can get apps installed without the App Store. The App Store is just the law has already said that Apple can't like make it so apps can't get on the phone without the App Store. That's already been done. That's already been legally already dealt with. But you don't, the App Store is just a market. And so the actual ratings of an app is about the app and how much does it work. The security is already supposed to be a given. That if it's from the, and I notice I'm not saying from the Play Store. I'm not saying the Play Store is not secure, but I'm saying that Apple definitely markets this. So this actually undermines Apple as well. So that white dude is really acting like, this ain't no big deal. It is, because if once Apple removes it, you pretty much not gonna get on the fucking app, get it on the App Store. If they gotta remove it for security, and that's if dudes really wanted to get that app removed, the way you do it is saying, oh, this is an app, you go after Apple. Saying, oh, look, app let this shit on the store, this is Apple's fault. Apple removed that bitch quick. Yeah, that's what it is now. If she like you, you don't have to take her on a date. These shits are taking niggas on a date, having niggas go on dates that they not sure about. I always say it. I'm gonna get a sexual handshake before I take you out. What is that, fucking? That's just a politically correct way of saying fucking. And any bitch who try to act like they don't do that is now you know she's a liar. They removed the dude version because dude was uploading. You cannot, no matter what app you cannot upload videos of bitches. Like, common sense should have told niggas that. That is technically, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real. They actually did a lot of the dudes a favor by removing the app. Because if we're just gonna be all the way real about it, if we're gonna be all the way real about it, a lot of dudes would have been charged with revenge porn. If dudes would have had a dude version and it went out like this, like how this other app is going, y'all would have been caught up in revenge porn. And because that's a sex crime, you know they would have just blew that shit up. Because it was a whole bunch of black men, you already know what time that would have been. You already know what time that would have been. Oh, see, black men, they don't protect black, blah, 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 blah. And we would have had to deal with that bullshit. So, honestly, it worked out. Because I don't want no fucking, man, nigga, you a fool if you get on a nigga version of this, of that app with that white dude at the front of it. You a fucking fool. For what? Yeah, man, I'm gonna expose you. Look at how stupid these females look now. I like my sleep. These hoes can't even sleep at night. It does, but that's what it means. That's why. That's my phrase. Sexual handshake thing. That's what I was gonna talk about. Megan Thee Stallion and Slim Thug. Look, man, Slim Thug. I like Slim Thug. I like some of his music, but at the end of the day, nigga, I get it. You like Megan, but you're not supposed to be caught up on a chick like that. That's his problem. His problem. Megan was never gonna deal with you because at the end of the day, Megan's a whore. Megan is fucking dudes because they're at a certain level, and you're not at that level. That's not to say he's any less than a man or anything like that, but you can't really get, she's a clout gobbler. You can't give Megan Megan ain't really trying to be in no real relationship. Megan is a clout chaser, and it's obvious, which is why a lot of motherfuckers don't deal with her. So you hating when you damn near light skin your damn self, you hating on Klay Thompson because you like that bitch. I mean, you out here looking stupid. You making Texas niggas look stupid. You look stupid. Yeah, man. We was gonna be, Texas, Barack Michelle. I'm like, dude, you not that dude like that. Like at the way hip hop is currently constructed. And I'm not even trying to play him, but you sitting here hating on Klay. Klay was probably paid to be in that relationship. Exactly, UFO. And what makes it so bad is they'll use him in order to promote the relationship. Ooh, look, black men are getting mad. See what Slim Thug said? He should have said that to that bitch when she was talking about Passport Bros when he was on there. It ain't even about exposing. Let's talk about it. I'm not trying to expose women. It's like anything you got an issue with men doing, chances are you do it too. Let's talk about it. Women ain't really hiding it, so it ain't nothing to expose. Yeah, we're going to expose the women going to Jamaica. Why? I mean, they already written books about it. But my thing is, I don't know why dudes go out of their way to not mention it. Because the real problem is we got way too many dudes that be on some trying to protect the American dating market. The T-App didn't expose a lot of the American dating market is shit. This is the market you niggas be, this is the game you niggas are protecting. This is the American Ho Olympics you protected. What's up, AB? Oh, Slim Thug is mad. Slim Thug has been trying to get with Megan Thee Stallion for a minute. Megan Thee Stallion has been curbing him. Megan Thee Stallion, number one, Slim Thug. How old is Slim Thug? Man, if Slim Thug don't sit his old ass down, Slim Thug is 44 years old. We not even talking about the fact that Slim Thug is 44 years old, Klay Thompson is 35 years old, and Megan Thee Stallion is 30 years old. These chicks today are more likely to date younger men and older men. He wanted Jay-Z and Beyonce situation. Remember, a lot of these niggas can't get a passport. Yeah, Slim Thug ain't gonna be more popping because Slim Thug had like a good two years. Two years. Slim Thug was never popping for a long time. Slim Thug was popping. I mean, truth be told, Klay Thompson, like, again, it's because he's an NBA player. You can see when you look at them hang out together, Klay Thompson looked like a fucking stand-in. He ain't gonna be with Megan. I don't see him being with Megan 6 months. People forget Megan is fucking 30 years old. Exactly. I don't even know why he ain't with Coco Jones now. And look at Coco Jones' body type. But they don't really promote, they don't promote Maria the Scientist like that. They don't promote Coco Jones like that. A lot of these chicks that don't make like hard R music, black chicks, they don't promote them. They really don't. And I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. If you don't make hard R music, they're not trying to promote you. A lot of black dudes don't even know who Coco Jones is. They don't know who Coco Jones is. They don't really know who Normani is. They don't know who Maria the Scientist is. That's why it's another one I'm missing too. Again, this is why you have to have your own media apparatus. Yeah, but Ari Lennox got Ari Lennox don't make hard R music, but Ari Lennox makes like Keisha Cole style music. Same thing with SZA. Like, I got an issue with black men music, so fuck them. Ari Lennox actually mentioned Kevin Samuels by name, so fuck Ari Lennox. Ari Lennox crying when she got hemmed up over there in Europe. Fuck that bitch. That's another reason why you need to know other chicks, because that way when motherfuckers say, oh, you just don't like black women. Oh, that's not true. I like Coco Jones. I like Maria the Scientist. Shout out to that song Burning Blue. I just don't like Ari Lennox for XYZ. See, when you name other ones, just like when you name other ones, they can't really jump on you like that. The truth be told, some of these other bitches don't even. SZA. SZA's talented, but the problem with SZA is it's a lot of brown girl. I'm a brown girl and I'm sad music. And I get tired of that shit. Oh, I know what I'm about to do. I get tired of the brown girl problem. Like, all you making is, I got brown girl problems. Woe is me. I'm a black girl. Wham. I get tired of that shit. But truth be told, if Slim Thug really wanted a Megan Thee Stallion type of chick, Slim Thug can pick a country, go get a bitch. That's the crazy part about it. But the thing about Slim Thug is Slim Thug actually want African American female software. I actually got another computer, or got a small little laptop, and so finally I've been messing around with Windows 11. Windows 11 is alright. There's some features I like. I know that sounds hella random, but the reason I'm mentioning it is because the reason why I'm mentioning it is because a lot of dudes want that African American female software. They just want these chicks to act right. And it's like, yo, women are never gonna act right unless you compel them to do so. The power of Christ compels you. The power of game compels you. That's how these niggas sound. Oh man, that'd be a really good. The power, what's the symbol? Some kind of K. The power of game compels you. You have to have power. Women operate on power. And a lot of dudes, because they've been, Slim Thug knows that, and it's collective. But a lot of dudes, because dudes can't get past, I'm not saying, for instance, China and America have a rivalry, but there's certain things China and America agree on. And that's how dudes need to interact. On the things you agree on, agree. On the things you don't, even if you go on to war. But dudes do this total war bullshit. Every little thing is total war. And you don't understand how that undermines you. The power of game compels you. You nigga, you ain't got motion like that. Nigga's force potential is his motion potential. This nigga got hella motion potential, but he just don't know how to realize it. He need game training. What style of game? Are you a beta game? You one of them, you a beta game nigga? What's a beta game nigga? Ace Metaphor. Them pandering ass niggas that are really dirty ass niggas, for real. Scandalous niggas, but they just pretend like they on the women's side. Pimp game, alpha game, trick game.
Approaching a railroad crossing.
Trick gang. Do you know who my father is gang? That's the white folks. That's the white man's favorite. You know. There is gang. When you are part of affiliation, so a woman is elevating you because of what you affiliated with. That's a part of it too. Like if you are a Q dog or whatever fucking fraternities are. So now because you're a part of a fraternity, but that only works on certain chicks. But if you're a part of a gang, Blood, Crip, whatever. Yeah, that works too. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know, what is it? Sarisu, which is the defensive style. Sarisu is a part of the defensive style. You got Dooku style. You got Tajimso. You got the style that, you know, they flying around, the style Yoda had. I forget the styles. You know what I'm talking about. Each style has their own unique thing. I mean, the stuff could be broken down like that in a fun way. Absolutely. The power of Christ compels you. You know, you got Wigger Gang, which is a subset of white gang. Wigger Gang, aka John B Gang. You got Creep Gang. Aka Old Dirty Bastard. Flavor Flav. That If you know how to use it, it can work. If it's certain things you know how to use, certain games, what's your game style? God, I need to start putting some of this stuff on AI. You got Thuggish Game with the ugly niggas choice. Niggas be like, I ain't ugly, I'm a thug. So what they, nigga, you a pretty boy. So they promote ugliness as a way of getting around the fact you ugly as hell. You may be 6 foot, but your face card is trash. That shit work on broke bitches. Hood bitches. Oh, he a thug. Kind of fucking kids look fucking retarded and shit, and then you angry because you fell for that shit. Well, I mean, you talk about education, a lot of things are education. That's real ambiguous. Yeah, man, what we need is education. I mean, that can mean a lot of different things. I mean, shit, niggas talk about go to college, you go to college, get into STEM. Remember the last couple of years, everything, I'm not saying you shouldn't get a STEM, but everything was STEM. Everything was STEM. Now all of a sudden, bitches can't, you got AI, oh, you fuck. Black people want a lot of black people want fast money. So you actually break down like anything that's gonna require hours. That's the thing about a food truck. When you out, you gotta be willing to be out. You know, you gotta be willing to be out. So there's a lot of ways to get out here and get that paper, but people want easy money. That's why you see people, it ain't just black people, you get what I'm saying. But you see people wanting to scam and shit. They want to scam, they think that shit is cute. That shit ain't cute. Scamming ain't cute, man. Because scamming undermines the trust in the system. I'm on some Sharia law shit on that. Like, real talk. You know what I mean? It ain't no big deal. It absolutely is a big deal. It ain't a big deal to y'all because y'all be wanting to, man, you'll talk about scamming. Like that's the thing. And then women fucking with scammers. Like, we know why they do it. Do it because of the fast money. Yeah, and that's why, you know, at the end of the day, these motherfuckers ain't got no money on the show for it. You got a whole bunch of bullshit you done bought. You don't even use the scam shit to buy real shit, like shit that makes more money. You just use the shit to basically trick off. Fucking funny, man. All right, y'all, I appreciate it. I gotta go. Yeah, what's up, man? What's up, y'all? Yeah, like I said, I'll be looking for be looking out for some videos I may upload and shit like that. So yeah, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.